Double 11! Amazing prices! Amazing styles! Win big in Mega Draw! Double 11. Amazing prices, amazing styles. Win big in Mega Draw. Double 11! Amazing prices! Amazing styles! Win big in Mega Draw! Lowest prices, incredible benefits.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In a world where legends are born on the battlefield, where strategy, skill, and courage define greatness, tonight the spotlight shines not on kings, but on queens. Yes, guys, you heard me right. It will be on queens tonight. The cam, the spotlight, the shine, everything onto our queens because this is Queen's Legacy. Welcome back, everybody, to the banger. And right now we are proceeding towards the lower bracket. Is this the semifinals? I don't think so. It's just the lower bracket knockout, if I'm not wrong. And the teams are Five Finger Discount versus Bekona, guys. Okay, they just give a Pepsi symbol as well. 10 रुपए की Pepsi. Dekona, guys. Wale team wale sexy. Okay, guys. Me as TZ joining the deck today with one of my co-caster who is so famous in the casting scene. But it will be my first match casting alongside him, so I don't know how it will be. But pardon me for my voice, bro. It's so break because of my shouting in the previous tournament. So I'm just getting, recuperate back into the scene. And it will be my first game at the Diva, I mean, the Queen's Legacy. So hello, once. How are you? It's me, Ast Easy, guys.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Ash. This is like our first time casting together, so I'm actually thrilled to be here with you tonight. And yeah, as for your voice, you don't really have to worry about it. You sound absolutely great, and I can't even tell the difference. But yeah, talking about the game though, Ash, we can see that the bans from the side of Daycona guys and Five Finger Discount of the first phase has already been done, and they've already picked the first pick, which is the Angela onto the side of the Icona guys. So I feel like the Icona guys, they often tend to go for the Angela first pick because the female player on the Angela, which is Hello Kitty, she is very very comfortable with the Angela. And it seems like she is obsessed with the Hello Kitty skin as well. So she kept her name Hello Kitty there. And yeah, she just goes for the first pick as usual. But yeah, talking about Five Finger Discount on the other hand, we can see that they're coming up with a really solid picks here. They're coming up with a heavy crowd control and a really tanky tank, which is none other than the Gaton.
Of course, and as you can see that they're going for this band. Okay, I mean, I'm just getting clear about it once. I don't know any of the teams other than some big teams like Vixens, or maybe you can say the Miss Mizoram, the Megatron, Core Apricity, all these teams I know, but these two teams are so new for me. And you were casting from the day one in this Queen's Legacy, so you may be knowing all those drafts and all those picks of these two teams. So I cannot go for that draft. I mean, analyze or something like that. So I'll be taking your help, obviously. But what I'm seeing right now, if I will talking about the meta, it's more like the alpha jungle. It's not there in the meta, but still, girls are going for this pick. That means they might be in the comfort team. Dekona guys might be in a. I mean, their jungler might be in a comfort way for the alpha, or it's a strategy with the Angela pick. Angela is going to the roam. Nowadays, we're seeing Angela as a flex. It can go to the mid as well, but they already picked out the mid. So this Angela is for sure going into the roam at this moment. And they're going with the higher beta from the Five Finger Discount. So once the first phase of picking is over, what's your thought on having upper hand? Which team is having that?
I mean, if we talk about the upper hand, I would say that, with the Hayabusa on board for Five Finger Discount, I feel like they do have the upper hand here because Hayabusa is an assassin that can easily pick off mages that have no dashes. And, the mages basically, they have no dashes. So, picking away a Farsa and the Angela is going to be pretty easy for the Hayabusa. He has high burst damage, high mobility, and catching these kind of heroes is not a problem for the Hayabusa. It all comes down to the execution of the hero. But
Of course.
yeah. But talking about Five Finger Discount as well. But I feel like if they position themselves quite well and they go for a bit of a defensive item, like just grab the
Mm,
small armor from the Antikrass, which is the Dreadnought armor for the mage and for the Angela. That's gonna
yeah,
be enough for them to survive for the early and the mid game. In the late game, even if you go for a full antique on a mage, it's not gonna help you. You're still gonna get bursted down with a full bit Hayabusa. But yeah, in that scenario, the Winter Crown can always, come in handy. But yeah, talking about the early mid games, they have to be really, really careful of this Hayabusa. And yeah, Ash, if we talk about the bans here from the side of Dekona guys, we can see that they're picking off the Irithel, which is one of the most meta marksmen in the current meta. So picking her
Mhm.
off here is really good because you don't really want to deal with the Irithel. And she can be a little troublesome to catch with the Hayabusa as well. So yeah, taking her off, it's really good as well. And as for the Phobius as well, I feel like it's really good that they have banned it off. If you combine the Phobius and the Angela, it is going to be so hectic to deal with. So it seems like
Mhm.
Dekona guys, they're like really analyzing the game and they're going with the bans that
Oh
will
wow.
not be a hindrance for them. But yeah, oh my god, Ash, look at this. Is this a Ixia debut here? I feel like we've not seen Ixia so far, but yeah, tonight we're gonna see the Ixia from the side of Dekona guys here.
Okay, like it's like Ixia pick is not so, normalized pick in our meta, but it's kind of you can say that again that comfort thing coming here. They're going for the Ixia, but a lot of heroes are there to counter this Ixia out. Even though you're banned out that Irithel or the Granger, there's still Harith can come up, and it's more like Ixia is kind of a Forsa in the goal lane because when she
Yeah,
casts her ultimate, she's kind of stationary and she can't move. So and having a like a backline diver, you can easily catch her up. And see, I'm talking about the backline diver. I'm going to see a Xbox coming in, but with that I'm going to see something which I never wanted to see. But what can I say? I have
yeah,
to watch it here with my bleeding eyes. It's a Hanabi, guys, the queen of which system. So obviously they're going with the Hanabi here, and I mean, even though you have got the purify, the inbuilt purify with yourself, but still it's more like the Gatot Kacha can go for that engage or the disengage with the help of the AOT. And there you go, the Esmeralda coming into the EXP. With the drop sets, I can say like Team Dekona guys is having like good draft here. They have a backline diver, it's a Hayabusa. They got the Esmeralda as well. They got the AOG disengage engager like Gatot Kacha, and the Vexana got the recent skin buff. So it's more like they are having a little bit chain CC type of lineup. Whereas Team Five Finger Discount, they got heal there, but like I mean into the EXP, even though you have the burst there, but Esmeralda kind of having that upper hand against the Xbox. But let's see. It's more about the execution, not onto the draft. Even though you won the draft, you need to show the execution part more often
indeed.
because the draft sets 40% of the game and the execution part always sets 60% of the game. My one of my good friends say always this thing. So let's see.
Indeed.
Five
Game
seconds till
number
the enemy
one
reaches the
of the night.
battlefield. Smash them.
Yeah, take us right in, Ash. We are back here into the Land of Dawn, and this is the first game for tonight. So let take us through the Land of Dawn and just dive us right in.
Yep, recall spamming. The jungles are already, the crypts are going to set up soon because they are going to take out the aggro here. Both these sides. It's Five Finger Discount guys versus Dekona guys, and whoever losing out will be taking a part from the tournament, and whoever winning will be getting a securance, a ticket for the next round. So all the best to the Queens. May they
Yeah.
will show the best ace gameplay of their life because it is more like a do or die for them as well. Oh, early game aggression, you can see onto the Angela.
Yeah, there's a lot of aggression coming up from the side of Dekona guys. They're utilizing the bushes really well, and it seems like they did not manage to secure the lethal. But yeah, this time around, if we talk about the game, I feel like Five Finger Discount, they might have a big, a bit of a trouble in the early phases of the game because of the composition that they have. They have really squishy heroes, which is the Angela, the Farsa, Hanabi. So you have to be really, really careful of them. You have to be very cautious of the Hayabusa. But yeah, Ash, look at this on the bot there. Oh my gosh.
Already a little bit of skirmish going on, but we're not gonna see. Okay, the Kochel comes in. Hanabi goes down with the help of the Hurricanes. He doesn't even flinch onto the ultimate, but finds a kill onto that Hanabi. First blood goes to Dekona guys.
Wow, Telly already showcasing the capacity of the Hayabusa, what the Hayabusa is capable of. She is just going berserk with the Hayabusa and already securing kills, and it seems like the first turtle of the game is going to be up in about 2 seconds right here. So we're going to see a turtle skirmish very soon, and it seems like the other members from the side of Dekona guys and Five Finger Discount are trying to rotate as well. But yeah, it seems like for now, Five Finger Discount, they won't be able to secure the turtle because they just lost the first blood, and they are a bit behind. And there's just a lot of zoning coming up from our queen here, which is none other than Mara.
Might be an easy turtle for them, and they could just grab it on with the securance of the neutral objective. But right now, just claiming the whole lane onto the top side, giving a little bit of pressure to that Xbox at this moment. But if not be prolonging pressure for now, they're just retaliating back. But in the mid, a little bit of poke coming out from that Gatotkacha onto the Versa. It's
Yeah.
just they're playing so slow ones. I mean, they do not want to rush it up. But there you go, a stun comes up. Half of the health goes down. Okay, a little bit of skirmish we can see from Linksy. He goes back with that, but he's positioning himself. Quashero got connected, and there you go. Without the... I mean, he just got used the Ogi Shadow kill and finds a kill another time. Dekona
Yeah.
Pepsi. Sorry, Dekona guys.
I mean, yeah, this is what you want to do, right? With the Hayabusa, you want to grab as many kills as possible. But what is Hello Kitty she's doing here? She's just standing still, and this is a perfect opportunity for Telly to go in, but she does not have the Ogi Shadow to go in and secure the kill. So it's just going to be a poke, which is going to be through through there. But yeah, look at the top lane. It seems like the Xborg is actually having quite an easy time against the Esmeralda, because the Xborg, it deals true damage, so that is like the biggest counter for a tank. And yeah, Esme is definitely one of those tanky EXP, which is mostly counted as a tank. But yeah, for now I feel like the Kona guys, they're doing quite well because they are on the upper hand. They have secured around 3k goal lead for almost, which is really good for them. And the second turtle, it seems like, is going to be spawning right up again in about 1 second here. But then again, look at this pass. Oh,
Hey man, trapping up there. Quad Shadow comes up, killing spree for the Hayabusa. What a wave! There you go. Last Insanity popped up, but it will be the first swing, securing the kill onto Linksy, and it will be the first kill as well. Ixia going for the ultimate. A lot of damage just got gushed out onto the Persa. It goes managed to go back, but into top side, a sneaky picky going on. The turtle for the side of team 5-finger discount. I mean, it's okay. I mean, you're teaching out those micro, but you're leading out the macro. It's fine. You can just recuperate into the late phase.
I mean, talking about the macro of 5-finger discount, I feel like for now, their macro, they're not really macro reliant. But then again, look at the invasion.
Well, there will be a spear of all power. The Vexana managed to assassinate that first. In the meantime, Ixia joined it and will be securing a kill on the Alpha as well. 2-man down with a little bit of poke onto that Xbox. The hot guard comes up with the last insanity. Boom bam happened there. Gatotkacha falls down in the hand of the Angela. Flicker comes up. Just got baited down. Even though Linksy, just comes into the time, but the engage was so good from the Xbox. He managed to secure the kill. He goes back, but in the meantime, a macro got secure in the hand of the Kona guys.
Yeah, Daycona guys, they're doing quite well, Ash. But I feel like in the late phases of the game, actually, the Xbox is going to be really troublesome for the side of Daycona guys, because the Xbox in the late phases of the game, he deals absurd amount of true damage, and that can be very, very troublesome for the Gatot and the Esme. And considering the fact that they have an Angela, and Angela combined with that Xborg is going to be such a menace. But look at Nash on the ball and the top side.
AOG comes up. Hanabi secure a kill. Sugar onto Kezia. Managed to execute her down. In the meantime, you can see Felly coming in. The Quad Shadow doesn't got connected. The Shuriken coming up. 3 Shadow already been on to them. The Hot Guard being picked up, right? That Alpha will be managing to get him back into the safer zone at this moment. But on the top side, still the fight going on. The 2-man are trying to take out the Ferraga armor from the Xbox, but couldn't able to do that. Okay, a little bit of pause coming in. Might be an internet or network issue from the side of team, because I don't think anything is there from the production side. So we'll be figuring it out. But still, we'll be talking about the draft. We'll be talking about the game. Still now, once it might be like team Dekona guys having the upper hand, as we mentioned from before. 5-3 is the score. They're having a 2 lead onto the micro. If you wanna talk about the macro, nothing has been started from the side of 5-finger discount, whereas the 2 tiers already been fall down by the side of Tekna guys. So it's more like they're just consuming the micro, macro, everything into their hand.
Yep. If you talk about the macro of 5-finger discount, I feel like this time around they are more like individually reliant, because if we talk about five finger discount, they have the Alpha, they have a Hanabi, and they have as well as the Xbox. So I feel like these three heroes, they're like uh they rely on items heavily, especially the Hanabi, because without the items, without the Trinity build, the Hanabi cannot deal any damage whatsoever. So they are like item reliant, these three heroes. And talking about the picks that is coming up from the side of the Icona guys, they have heroes like Hayabusa, like
Hmm.
a like a Ixia, they have Esmeralda. These heroes are not item reliant. Of course, they need items in
Yeah.
the later phases of the game, but right off the bat, right off the start of the game, they can start dominating the game. So this
Hmm.
puts them in the big advantage because they're not as heavy item reliant as the heroes from the side of Five Finger Discount. But
Yeah.
yeah, talking about Five Finger Discount, I feel like in the late game, if they kind of guys they make a mistake, it can really cost them the game here. Because if we talk about Five Finger Discount, they have that Angela, and man, I really really hate the Angela. Her cooldown on the ultimate, it's so absurdly low. It pisses me off, and it's just not fair that every 10 seconds she gets to use her ultimate on another hero. So that is like broken to me, and I always ban her no matter what. But yeah,
11.8 second, if I'm not wrong. And with the enchanted talisman, even, I mean, without the enchanted talisman, you are having that cooldown. So just think, like, I don't know what has happened, but it's like Angela became the fib of Vista, maybe. It's
yeah,
not no more Layla, guys. It's the Angela now. People are spamming it around every time in the classic. You cannot ban her in the classic, of course, but there is a thing that you can counter her down. It's moreover that you're going for the anti-heal. Even though you're having the dominance, I still see managed somehow to heal out the whole side. But still, you can take her down if you're having the gold spike into your hand. But right now, a little bit of, you can say, guarding being done onto that Xbox top side. It's moreover like 5 members should go for that trap down mechanism here more than the like 2 members. But they are absolutely no doesn't want to go for the gang. They're moreover onto this turtle, onto this neutral objective. As it is here, the second turtle, the third turtle goes into the hand of the Hayabusa. Spirit of Alpha comes up for the slipper zone. You can see the Esmeralda going for the engage. The AOG comes as well. In the meantime, you can see a little bit of skirmish. Eternal Guardian popped up. Tally got the kill. Ion got down. Lynxie as well. Double for the Vexi. Can it be a triple at this moment? Let's see. They're going back. They're retaliating at this point. With the first might be taking out because the Ogi Shadow Kill just got connected. She's inside the tier, but getting a lot of damage. Yeah, goes inside the tier. Finds the kill on the first 4-man down. Just one man being there, and it's the Navi, the Sugar. Otherwise, it is an official wipeout once. What a way to trade out yourself. 4 for
oh,
none
yeah,
with a turtle in your hand. Macro,
yeah.
macro, everything settled.
I mean, talking about the Five Finger Discount, I feel like they really need to play safe because this is not how you want to play out the game. You want to go for the late game because this time around, there's no way you can win team fights against Dekona guys. Their composition, it's a very like it is very balanced, I would say. Individually you can win fights as well as in the macro. So the micro and macro, it's like well balanced out. If we talk about the Hayabusa, can easily pick off the solo kill. If you talk about the team fight, the Esme is there to tank, the Gator is there to tank for the for the Ixia. So there's no way you're gonna get close to the Ixia during the barrage, even if she's stationary. So you really have to watch out for those 2 times. But then again, it seems like there is just so much pressure being created onto the side of Five Finger Discount because they are just unable to even get their buff. And we can see here on the bot lane, Telly just going for the neutral objective, focusing on those turrets more rather than the kills, because this time around the kills are not important. The turrets, the objectives are way more important. But yeah, Ash, if we talk about if we talk about oh look at the top lane
Potential
there,
gang
Eternal's
about
ult.
to come here.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Oh my gosh, there's just so much pressure created here by Dekona guys, and it seems like Ash is having a little bit of trouble, but I think he's back. Are you there, Ash? It seems like he is still having a little bit of an issue, so guys, pardon that, but yeah, it seems like the front leg of the game here.
Easy clearance onto the lawn. I'm sorry once for just leaving you out alone here. It might be an internet issue from my side, but what happened in that fight? Can you just recall me out? Xbox just got down, or he managed to go?
The X-War got taken down, and that was the green light for them to secure the lot. So they have secured the lot, and now they're just gonna wait out for the lot to spawn. And I bet it's gonna be around the top lane definitely, because there's no outer shield over there, so the Lord might be spawning from there. But no, it decides to go for the mid because no HP has been taken down from any turret, so it just decides to go to the mid, which is definitely okay. They're just gonna clear out the sides and create the 3-lane pressure here.
Of course, they're perfectly synchronizing the lanes here, and the minions are coming up, so it might be a chance they can go for that mighty push here. Okay, they're stalling away the Lord here, and the Lord got banished away before it can pierce out the inhibitor, but in the process, they might get that holy blessings from all the inhibitors. Yep, they got all those inhibitors. Holy blessings out. Ogi Shadow Kill comes up there. Might be an engage coming in. Yep, you're gonna see that coming up by the Hayabusa, but it's not gonna take out any casualties here. Feather Airstrike comes up, a little bit of zone as well. Shut down from the Alpha onto the Hayabusa. The Spear of Alpha walks here. The ultimate coming from the Ixia. Damage the outer Sugar here. Sugar got deleted down. Hot Guard coming up. The first swing as well. The Alpha got trapped down. It's a double for Kezia. Might be going for a triple. Last Insanity popped up. He doesn't have the Baraka armor. Okay, I mean, a mist happened. There, he might go for that AOG onto the engage, but he doesn't find the Xbox. And in the meantime, the tears damage got a kill for them. 2 for 1 is the trade, guys, with the Lord being defended out easily. But there's Mega Minions, chunky ones coming out into the inhibitor. Might be getting out by this Xbox, clearing out it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really bad trade in my opinion, because Dakona guys, I feel like this time around, they're slowly throwing a bit, which they should definitely not do. They should not give kills to the side of Five Finger, because if they do, they will definitely catch up with the farm. And also the fact that Ash, recently there was a patch, like the team which is on the disadvantageous side, they get a higher goal in the late game. So now it's easier for the team which is on the disadvantageous side to catch up with the goal. So with that being implemented into the meta right now, you do not want to give them that extra goal plus kills. So you have to really watch out, because these days it's really easy for the losing team to make a comeback, because with the recent patch you can easily catch up with the goal because you get extra goal if you're way behind. So there's that, and also the fact that this time around Dakona guys, they're being way too aggressive. So they have to take a step back and just look for the opportunity where they can pick off kills. And oh my, look at this.
Hot popped up there. Hot Guard coming up as well. A little bit of, you can say that retaliation happened there, but the Lord spawn. Easy Lord coming out from the side of the Kona guys here, because you don't know, the gold advantage is kind of 9k. Can you just believe this once? It's already 9k gold lead. I don't think any contest we're gonna see onto the Lord. It will be the uncontested one for Dakona guys, but you can defend it out easily if you want to defend, because you do have a Hanabi there, you do have the Angela, the Alpha, so the Hot Guard can be an action here. But the main thing which is being lacked by the side of Five Finger Discount is the sustain. Is the one who gonna divert the wave, the one who gonna stand up as the frontliner. Xbox, no bro. Without the Firaga armor, he can't even sustain that much. Alpha, he's not going on he's on the Albert and the Sky Piercer, so it's most like you don't have a sustain other than the Angela, who is going for a proper heal build here. But the Lord coming in, infiltration happening here. The Lord dashes on, AOG comes up, the disengage happen, and in the meantime, Kezia finds a mega kill onto the Alpha. Oh my goodness, the Hanabi trying his best to deflect out the Lord. But there you go, the first swing coming up, the last Insanity popped up as well. Feather Airstrike, boom, the burst comes up, a shut down onto the Kezia. Sliver of HP, it will be a slain of the Lynxia as well. 3 members are trying their best to go back, but the individual falls down in the mid. The chunky minions going in, they're trying their way onto the base push, but I don't think they're gonna lock it down, because the Xbox comes up, clearing out the minions there once. It's a nice, successful defense happened by the side of Five Finger Discount. We are going to witness another warlord.
Indeed, that was a clean defense coming up from the side of Five Finger Discount, but they did lose all the inhibitors, so now there's gonna be so much lane pressure, because the super minions are just gonna continuously spawn, and you don't even have to worry about the lanes, because the super minions are just gonna clear out the normal minions. But yeah, if you talk about the game this time around, I feel like the key players from the side of Five Finger is definitely the Farsa, the Hanabi, and the Angela, because these three combined together, they're absolutely carrying the game, because we can definitely see that the Farsa with the Fed airstrike is doing an absolutely great job picking off the back line, which is none other than the Ixia and the Vexana. So, her ultimate is lock onto those two. And as for Angela and Hanabi, I feel like, they're doing a really good job, because once the Angela has lock onto the Hanabi, you're giving her shield, which means she is immune to any kind of a crowd control. So the Hanabi can freely move around, dish out damage and clear the minions easily with the help of her passive, which is just gonna bounce off on one another. But yeah, if we talk about Daycona guys, I feel like if they really want to win the game here, they have to go for the main damage dealer, which is none other than the Hanabi this time around in the late game, because she is almost completed with the build. So you have to really look out for the Hanabi, because if you let her, dish out damage, she can easily wipe you out in a team fight. She might be, the queen of the system. Like, I'm not gonna say it again. Previously, I did say it, but yeah, yeah, like she can definitely wipe you out if you underestimate the Hanabi. Because in team fight, if her Haganbana connects, 5 man will be locked, and you'll
Yeah.
be stationary, and the bounce is just gonna melt you off. So you have to be careful of that as well.
You're totally right about it, but the thing is, the goal difference and the level gap we're talking about. It's still,
Yeah,
I mean, even though they're
they
securing
can
the
jump.
kill here, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about the goal, the gap here, they have definitely catch up, because they
yeah,
are
okay.
full build
It's
here.
a
But
bit
yeah,
of
look
luck.
at the
Oh, we
micro.
went there a little bit of overextension, but the hard guard comes up here. They managed to take out the bait out those skills. I mean, wasting it out here. It's not a good thing. They just literally take out all those resources out here. No hard guard for 12 seconds. The lot coming in. We're gonna see a little bit of mighty push here, or might be the last push because it's onto the mid side. The lane synchronization is too good. Esmeralda clearing out the bot there. On the top, we can see the chunky minions coming in. Those are the Lord minions. The deflection happened there onto the Lord. Hanabi trying the best, but here you go. Hayabusa goes into the backline. Lot of damage coming in, but the Ogi Shadow Kill popped up there. He got us chilled with the Wind of Nature. AOG popped up, and the strike coming in. Link C falls down there right now. Tunnel Garden popping up there. Double kill happened for the Hanabi, but the base will be locked down. It will be Dekona guys securing the win, going into the next round of the lower bracket by eliminating out Team 5 Fingers Discount. What a way, guys, to shine on against another Queens. Congratulations, team Dekona guys here. A double happened there by the Hanabi. She tried her best to defend the base. But then it was all about the base push, guys. It was all about the locking down of the base. When the crystal is up, the game is on. And that's
Yeah.
what happened here. They were literally targeting on the crystal, not on the kills. And there you go. The result is here once.
Yeah, I mean, the game was a bit predictable if you talk about it, because right off the draft, we did see that Team Daycona guys, they had a better draft, and their picks had complemented each other very well. And also the fact that they were put up against they were against heroes like Hanabi, like a Angela, and a Xborg and an Alpha. It's easier, for them to counter out these heroes, because you have like tanky front lines like the Esme and the Gatot, and high DPS heroes like the Ixia, crowd control, the Vexana. Everything is just so perfectly balanced. There's damage, there's crowd control, there's a pick off hero, and there's punching backs in your team. Everything was well drafted from the side of Daycona guys. And as for Five Finger Discount, they went for the comfort picks. I mean, comfort picks, you do feel comfortable, going for the safe heroes that you love playing. But at the end of the day, you have to make sure that it is a kind of a draft that is going to complement your macro as well as your micro. Because if it does not, there is definitely going to be a lot of gaps that will be needed to fill. And if they're not fulfilled, the other team is definitely going to take the advantage of it, and you're going to be falling off way behind. But yeah, this is the end result, and we can definitely see that Team Dekona, guys, they're the winner of the first game of tonight's stream. So, it's just gonna be a best of one for now. So, we'll be taking a short 5-minute break. We'll bring in the another team and we'll be coming in right up again.
11. Amazing prices, amazing styles. Win big in Mega Draw.
Hello, girls. Hello, boys. We're back into the banger. Me, STZ, coming with wands once again for the second game of the night on the streaming. That is Team Navillera versus Team YBC. They're going against each other for the lower bracket games, and whoever losing out will be taking a part from the tournament, and whoever winning will be getting a little bit closer to that spot onto the grand finale. That means you are going into the next round. So let's talk about the game before we goes into the draft. The last game was so good, I can say, because the game was so, you can say, one-sided because of Team Pepsi, not the Pepsi Dekona guys. Of course, their logo is Pepsi, but the defend, the way Team Five Finger Discount defend the whole game for the last lot, even the third lot, you can say, was so good from their side. They tried their, I mean, all the blood and sweat, they poured it on to just to finish it out. But in the end, it was obviously one winner and one loser because this is what the game says. So the winner was Team Dekona guys, and Five Finger Discount has to take a part from this tournament, a goodbye from the tournament. So I hope Team
Yep.
Five Fingers Discount will be shining on in some other tournaments. All the best for the future journey. And once again, congratulations for the win, Team Dekona guys. But right now, it's the two teams, Navillera versus YBC. I don't know the full form. I mean, I know the full form, but I can't spell it well. So once I give you the honor.
Yeah, tonight, we have two teams, and it seems like these two teams they have a really big fan base because I can already see in the chat, all the people who are supporting these teams, they're like up against each other. They're like YBC is gonna win. They're like Navillera is gonna win. But yeah, before the game starts, we can't really decide which team is gonna win because it all comes down to the execution as well. But yeah, this time around, Ash, it is Team Navillera which is gonna have the first pick, and Team Yarchin Bish Club is gonna be the one with the last pick. But yeah, talking about these two teams, they are pretty solid teams as well. But yeah, talking about that though, we can already see that Team Navillera they're already coming up with a Kadita ban, which is quite good. But I would definitely not suggest them to go for that kind of a ban because if you have a first pick and you have heroes like Kadita which are open, you can definitely keep for the enemies to ban those heroes out because so it will save your ban, and you can go for another hero ban, so that way you can have more hero pools on your side. But nonetheless, we're also coming up with the Bane ban as well as a Carmilla ban from the side of YBC.
Of course, and this is so good bands coming out. I mean, this is, we can say that the meta bands are preferred by the both the teams. We know the Lapu Lapu is right now in the meta is a more flex even than the Angela because he can go on to the Rome, uh, EXP, even gold as well. You might be thinking why Ash said about the Rome Lapu Lapu, bro. This is also so unusual from me, but I haven't see that thing as well. I haven't saw that thing. The Lapu Lapu Roam. It's so aggressive, just like the Khalid, because the cooldown on the ultimate, the bravest fighter, is so less at the moment. You can literally spam it just like the hard card. So talking about the
Yeah.
bans coming in, it will be the Florin here for the side of Team Navillera. It might giving them the chance to go for that Angela first pick, but a lot of junglers hero are open. I told you the Angela coming in, the Poppy Boom here, guys, for Navillera, but leaving out and trading out that Lancelot or Ishan Shin first pick might be a chance that they can go for it. Other than that, what should be the picks? Matilda Fedrin? Or are you gonna give out the Fedrin to the Angela side?
Yeah, I mean, if the Angela is picked, you can definitely go for heroes like tanks, that can be better against heroes like Angela compared to the value that they provide in the team fights. Because if you go for pure tank, you definitely have more crowd control and tankiness compared to that of a healer who's just gonna be healing your team and protecting. So I feel like if they go for a tank here, it's definitely gonna be way better compared to that of a support. But nonetheless, we can already see Yaruch and Bish Club coming up with such a strong draft right off the early game. We have been seeing a lot of Erotel in the meta, and this time around she was kept open. So Yaruch and Bish Club, they took their chance and they grab her right off the bat without any hesitation. So now the Irtel is on board with YBC alongside the assassin, which is none other than the Lancelot. I mean, the Lancelot, it has a decent win rate, not the highest, not the lowest. But then I feel like as a hero right now in the meta, he's doing really good, and he's definitely a priority pick as well. But yeah, talking about the Irithel, I feel like there are very few marksmen that can actually go toe to toe with the Irithel because she is a very mobile marksman with high burst in the late game. So you have to really watch out for her. But
Hmm.
yeah, as we can see that from the side of Team Navillera, they're taking a kind of a composition that can really hinder Team Yarchin Bish
Hmm.
Club as well. They're going off with
Yeah.
the Yuuzhan pick and the Esmeralda. So the
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda and the Angela combo is gonna be brutally good. It's gonna be so good.
Boom.
Okay,
Nice.
damn, Ash. Wow, what? Oh, I did not, uh, you know, see the CC. I thought she was banned, but no, she is open. So now there is even a
So
CC
good.
on board with YBC. This is gonna be so good because the CC is one of the meta heroes right now. She is dominating the EXP, the goal lane, and she's always a priority ban, even in the normal rank matches.
So good with the CC pick. Now go for that Bakshia ban and the Fedrin because it's so perfect with the lineup. Angela with the Fedrin or the Bakshia. They do have the Jushin there, and the Jushin is, like a hindrance, halter to the utility jungler. So you don't have any chance, and you got the Lancelot, so you'll be getting a lot of hindrance from those utility picks. So I'll just suggest go for those bans, but no, they're going with the opposite here, which was not in my list, not even in my nightmares list. But I don't know, maybe for a respect towards the goal laner of Navillera. And there you go, the first are getting banned out here. Good ban for the mid lane. I mean, you do have the Jushin, but you're banning out the Fursa. Fine. Are you gonna ban the Kimi out as well? Because Kimi might be a good picks for the side of Yaris Chinvish Club. Okay, I don't want to say their name. White Club. Let it be White Club. I don't want to misspell it. I don't want to mispronounce it. So guys, it's better if I will say White Club or YBC. But there you go, guys. Last ban coming out from the YBC might be the utility I was expecting of Fedrin, because if you're not going to ban it out, they might gonna grab it out for them. They have a lot of chance, that high chance that they should go for it because it's the only hero which is so suited. But no, they're going for the Ishanshin ban. There will be Krux getting out from the hero list at this point. But against the Irithel, are they gonna go for the Moskov or for the Granger? What do you feel once?
I feel like the Granger can be good in the late phases of the game, but then in the early and mid phases of the game, he might be a little overwhelmed by the Irithel, considering the fact that the Irithel is way too mobile for the Granger to hit the Rhapsody. The Dead Sonata, obviously, it does land, but as for the Rhapsody, it's going to be a bit tricky to use Granger against the Irithel. So I feel like, this time around, they might go for a Moskov or a Brody. I feel like the Brody could be a really good fit here, considering the fact that they have a Lancelot. So, having that extra crowd control when he dashes onto you is going to be good, as, it can be a key for a lifesaver. But no, oh my god, Ash, what am I looking at? My eyes. It hurts. What am I looking at? It's a Mia. Oh my god, not in my wildest prediction would I ever predict a Mia here, but
Darkest Nightmare.
what is going on?
Oh, that's a good pick though. Xbog with an Angela, it's a good pick. Xbog under the jungle. You can also go for the Xbog in the EXP Esmeralda jungle as well. I love Esmeralda jungle. But Mia, you are going for that late game spike, but like obviously in the late game, she's a fearsable maniac type of goal laner. But in the early phase, she doesn't got that early snowball. She's useless into the mid to late game. So it's more like you're giving that spike to the Irithel. If they will be continuously going to gank out of the goal lane, you might be losing the game out. This is what I prefer for the Mia play. But it's more over the execution part. If the Mia will play safe for the first 7 minutes, in the last 7 minutes, it will be a disaster. You can say I mean, a very bad fortune for YB Club, because when the Mia gets the snowball, You're doomed, guys. You're nowhere in the list. And the Gatot Kacha coming in here, guys. The Rome, Gatot Kacha. Okay, Angela, Gatot Kacha. Same thing happened once, like just like the previous match, they got the one. I mean, Angela, but the Xbox was there in the EXP. This time they got the Esmeralda. If the Esmeralda is not going for the full magic build, I believe like she is going for the Oracle or some, you can say, the defense items. Even the Xbox after the War Axe, if he's building out the brute force and all, it might be a good thing. Like two frontliners, you have the Jushin in your hand with the physical emblems. You also act as a sustainable mid laner, and the Mia is there for the burst. But the main thing about this Mia is like she doesn't got that range, whereas the Irithel do have the mobility with the range, mobility from the sprint. I mean the spell and the range with the heavy crossbow. But here we go, guys. Here we are in into the Queen's Legacy. Once please take over the stage.
Yeah, we are heading right into the land of dawn, ladies and gentlemen. We have Team Navillera on the blue and Team Yarton Bish Club on the red. And this time around, it's going to be a very thrilling game considering the fact that we are witnessing a Mia on the goal lane. Let's see how this Mia is going to turn out. But nonetheless, for now, both farmers are just going to go ahead and farm in the jungle and try to hit that early game level 4, while the mid, they're just going to be skirmishing together here and just gonna exchange a little blows through and fro. But yeah, Ash, talking about the Mia, I feel like the Mia can work out here because, she can play safe. And considering the fact that there is an Angela, she can be a really good protective tool for the Mia in the early mid game. And in the late game, the Mia is gonna be sneaky. She's just gonna go in with the ultimate and
Okay, oh, the early skirm is coming in here. You can see a little bit of pull down by the Chushin. Might be getting out that double. Oh, no, not double. It is the retaliation coming out now. Cyclone Eyes, a lot of damage onto her. She managed to grab it. Gatot Kacha, and the Gatot Kacha goes back, but it will be a first blow with the puncture coming out from the Lancelot. He's going for the double, but Mia will be the stall here, taking out Dexter. And it's a 1-for-1. Good start for the YB club as well as for Team Navillera.
Oh, I feel like this time around, this was a really bad trade for YBC. They lost their jungler right off the early game, but then again, look at the bot side there. It seems like the Mia is getting ganked upon by two members from the side of YBC, and she will be taken down. So this is a very bad trade as well, because now the gold laner is gonna be gapped a bit. But yeah, look at the mid as well. We can see that, Gojo here trying his best to poke out the Angela and deal damage to her. But yeah, nonetheless, the Jujin with the Lantern Flare will be there to zone out the Gatot and the Xavier as well.
Althea managed to go back, but now the last insanity popped up. He does use the flicker here, but got down by the Xbox. And in the meantime, you can see that the Xbox is still finding his way. He doesn't have the Feraga armor. He goes back, and the puncture comes up. Might be an easy turtle for the team YB club, because the Xbox doesn't have the Feraga armor. The Angela is not in the level 4 mark yet. So more like, the zone coming in though. Chushin is going there for the zoning, but there you go, the puncture and the Stone Rose comes up. Easy turtle for them, and there you go, a rotation comes up from the goal laner. The last insanity popped up. Qumi just goes down there. In the meantime, you can see the Dawning Light coming up. It not be as fatality for the side of YB club here. 1 for none. You're gonna count the objective, then 1 for 1.
Yeah, I mean, despite them getting the turtle, I feel like on the other side of the map, the Mia did quite chunk down a little bit of that gold plate to, cover up for the goal that they lost, during the turtle. But yeah, I feel like this time around, YBC, they really have to snowball on the Lancelot, because if they can't snowball the Lancelot, they are not going to be able to do any kills. But yeah, Ash, look at this. There's just so much being spent here.
He popped up there, engaged, so beautiful. Two-man caught up, but the turret damage. Priya falls down in the hand of Navillera. Nection goes in with a puncture. Phantom Execution comes up. Ailey falls down there. Sliver of HP goes back at this point, but in the meantime, Esmeralda halting the way. The Dawning Light comes up. Throne Rose will be helpful to goes back in the safer zone at this moment. Look at the heavy crossbow. The area of zoning. And with this, the Puvuki goes down there.
Ooh, whenever I think that this team is on the lead, the other team just retaliate and, they take back the lead onto their side. And this is what is happening. Team Navillera, some point they seem to have the lead, but then again YBC retaliating, clapping back at them, and just equalizing the goal, the economy on their side as well. And it seems like this time around there's a change in the lane. It seems like the CC is actually sent to the goal lane to have an easier time against the Mia. But then again, look at this, Ash. Look at the Jujin, being such a hindrance with the Lantern Flare, just continuously stunning the CC, not allowing her to back off, and just 3 people onto one CC, securing the kill quite easily and beautifully. But yeah, nonetheless, it seems like the third turtle actually is going to be up, and this time around it seems like it is going to be Team Navillera that is going to secure it. There's just so much zoning that's coming up from their side that they are just
Grab up the turtle, sliver of HP. You can see the execution happen onto the Priya. Navillera is the one getting the killing spree. Mia goes in, Nexon falls down. 2 for none. It will be a 3 for none. And Navillera will be falling down as well. Kiyomate is a shutdown onto her, but she will be getting trapped down there. Double being secured by the Esma. 4-man down with just 1 in the hand. 5 on the trade because of the turtle. What a game coming out from Team Navillera. They're showing their domination in the mid to late phase.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, talking about, YBC, this time around, they are really, really struggling to have that early game snowball. And this time around, I still have a bit of hope for them because the Irithel might be able to carry the game in the late game. But considering the fact that even Navillera, they have the Mia, they have to really look out for the Mia, especially in the late game, because she is going to be a lethal monster that is going to melt down all the members from the side of YBC except the Gatot. The Gatot might be able to sustain it considering the fact that he gets extra defense whenever his HP is low, and it seems like there's a taunt that is being used onto Diffusion, but it's not going to be enough to take her out. But yeah, this time around it seems like the AOG will be used as a escape tool to just get out of that danger zone, and they are just putting so much pressure on YBC this time around. There is just no space for YBC to even contest for any neutral objective. And on the bot lane, it seems like there's a gang on the Mia. Our Lancelot here with the Thorn Rose and the Phantom Execution trying to dish out damage. But then again, look at the Mia and the Angela just sustaining so much damage. The Inspire being at the right moment.
Yeah. It's just a poke, you can say, but look at the zone coming there. Dawning Light popped up as well. A little bit of, you can say that, poke or skirmish. But I will just suggest the poke. Now the turtle being cleared up. Let's see if we're going to see the engage. Retreat popped up. Mia got the turtle there. Priya goes for the engage, but a lot of damage coming in. Navillera falls down in the meantime. Priya as well. Navillera, it will be 1 for 1 with the trade, but the turtle will be the 2-1 here. In the meantime, the Yo-Yo Beast coming in. The Heart Guard is still onto that Jushin. He goes back there. Not the Jushin. Sorry.
Yeah. And yeah, it seems like this time around, Ash, the Mia is starting to come online because the fact that she has been playing safe throughout the game and she's not even dying that many times there. So it's looking really good for the Mia. And considering the fact that they have that Angela is going to be so annoying, on the Mia. If the Mia, she goes for the Inspire, she goes for the full crit build, it's going to be crazy. She will melt down everyone. And I don't feel like, there's enough burst to take down the Mia, considering the fact that they have a Xavier, who has consistent magic damage. But what happened there in the bot lane, it seems like, the Mia was actually caught off guard, considering the fact that
the armor goes down, the stun comes up, the tear falls down, there you go, this time Irithel chasing out with a heavy crossbow falling in. The Xbox goes down, in the meantime Navillera will be finding another one on the Xavier, and he goes drop down there as well. The 2 people managed to flinch, not even let her flinch there, a double being secured by the Irithel.
Wow, yeah, that was actually a really good trade, Ash, because they got 3 people for 1. They got, the Mia, the Zuzhin, and the Xbox as well for just merely a Xavier on the mid side. So that's a really good trade. And if you take a look at the itemization this time around, we can see that the highest goal from the side of YBC, it is the Irithel with, say, 6.8k gold. And as for the Mia, she is a bit behind. considering that she was on the lead, compared to YBC, but somehow she's behind the Airtel by merely 800 gold here. But yeah, nonetheless, we can see that these two marksmen, they already have their hands on three main items. But Ash, look at this, another fight, another skirmish, so much blood being drawn here. Oh my god, just look at the Irtel absolutely going crazy on the heavy crossbow. He leaves no prisoner, just goes for absolute kill. And this time around, it seems that even the CC here is not going to survive the burst that's going to come up from that Mia. But yeah, it seems like the Mia is just going to go berserk with that Angela on her head. She's just sustaining so much with that Hasclaw, and this time around it seems like the Irritel is trying to overextend here, but I don't feel like she can really take down the Mia, considering the fact that there's just too much heal from that Angela. So this time around they're gonna have to back off. They're gonna have to back away and try to look for the Lord, but this time around without the jungler, they have to be really, really careful here. And it seems like 5 members from both sides of the teams are up, so we might see a Lord contest very soon. Okay, this time around it seems like Zhuzhen, actually Navillera, she's being so aggressive with the Lantern Flare. She is just channeling that skill all over, not stopping for 1 second. This is how, guys, you want to play the Zhuzhen. You want to just continuously spam that Lantern Flare, and deal poke damage, even if it's for 1 second. It can be so annoying on the enemies, and it just forces them to back away. And this is what exactly Navillera she's doing. She's just using the Lantern Flare to just zone out, to dish out poke, and just make the life of the enemy hell just with that Lantern Flare's presence alone. But yeah, it seems like for now Ash is having a little bit of a connection issue once again, so he will be back in a while. But yeah, for now it's just going to be me on the desk, and if I'm not wrong, I feel like I heard Ash there in the background.
Yeah.
Ash, are you there?
I'm back with that. We can see the skirmish happening at the Lord side. The last insanity popped up. 2 men getting caught off. Can we see a Civ triple here? No, Mia goes in. Kiyomi falls down. A double coming in. The Lancelot with the puncture. Finds the kill on the Xbox. It doesn't have the Paragon with the double kill. Will be secured by Kylene. Can it be a triple at this moment? Look at the Lancelot. It doesn't have a lot of much health here. And we can see a zone coming in. The Esmeralda goes in the puncture as well. The prone rose being used. Goes in the safer zone at this moment, but still the mid tiers are standing tall and might be getting into the hand of Team Navillera at this moment. Look at that. They'll be securing it out. The first tier in the mid. Even though the... Okay, what is the lane? Q-Lane. Q-Lane was coming in for the defense.
Oh my, look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, Angela falls down, a legendary coming off for Q-Lane. In the meantime, Mega Kill will be secured by Kylene. Go double for Q-Lane here. The last insanity coming in, might gonna be a triple. It doesn't have the Paragon armor. Triple kill secured here. What a way! And the tier 1 falling down. A destroyed happened there. Yoshi coming up, but the Crimson Baker in the time he managed to sustain it out, and the Rhea falls down. In the meantime, we can see a sliver of HP. I don't think like Q-Lane will be going for the engage here. She managed to find some macro onto the mid, clearing it out. I mean, giving her the chance to enlarge the jungle area, and the Lord got deleted down in the hole, in the midway.
But yeah, Ash, I really have to say that this Irtel is literally carrying the game right now for YBC, considering the fact that she's an MM and she has the items now. She is coming online, and she's definitely dealing so much damage with just the presence of the heavy crossbow alone. But yeah, if YBC, they want to win this game, they have to go and pick off the Mia, actually, because without the Mia, it's going to be so easy for them to win the team fight, because there's not going to be the burst that is going to come up from her, because Mia, she deals absolutely absurd damage of a burst. She is not even dealing consistent damage. She's dealing consistent burst damage because the crit that she provides.
Hey, little bit of skirmish, phantom execution. No, before that the puncture got used, and you can see the last insanity coming up. He doesn't have the throne roll. He might go for the save at this point. Dawning light popped up. The Paragon armor goes down as well. Look at the Angela. goes back in the meantime. A lot of damage with the heavy crossbow though. The stun comes up. AOG, what an engage comes in. But they managed to find their way back into the safer zone. But look at the Erether, the backline getting marked here. Unstoppable for Kylene. Killing is going in. Shutdown will be happening on Kylene here with the double in the hand of Kylene. He does have the hot guard onto herself. Can he go for a triple at this moment? I told you, you're doomed when the Mia got the spike into the hand. She is a maniac with the damage. Now the Lancelot goes back. The minions are getting cleared out easily. Team Navillera is having the upper hand in the... If you're going to count out those micro 2016, they're having the upper hand there. Your goal lead is kind of 2k as well. Cheers already settled down for both these sides, you can see. But it's more like, I mean, on the Lord. We were taking out it, having a better chance to securing the win there. But now...
Yeah, I mean, talking about YBC this time around, I'm just gonna be repetitive here. Just take down the Mia, please. If you want to win, just take down the Mia. It's good. It's an easy game. But if you can't go for the Mia, there's no way you're gonna win this. YBC, you have to be strategic. You have to look out for the main DPS because the Mia, you know, she's bursting down the Lancelot like paper. She's bursting down the Xavier.
All in the mid. Dawning Light comes up for the zone. Let's see who'll be taking out the retreat. Who will be the X-Ball? Securing the Lord there. Give a little bit of burst from the behind. You can see Kiyomi falls out of the godlike further. Kyulin going in, but he will be taken down as well from the Spirit. A two-man down with the triple coming in. It will be Jushin. Bria falls down. It will be the Lord and three-man in a set. And Team Navillera are going to take on the mid-rush here because they got three-man down with the Lord. The mighty push about to come. Rose Gold added in the item section. The Throne Rose comes up. The Strons as well. The Puncture happens. Shut down. At last, Mia will be taking a break here because she will be getting down in the hand of the Lancelot. In the meantime, we can see the Lancer player coming in. The Puncture happens. Zing, zing, zing. He goes back there. The Cheer falls down in the mid. The chunky minions are going in. The Dawning Light comes up. A little bit of clearance onto the zone there, but on the top side, we can see the Lord infiltrating here onto the top lane. Can it be a Lord defense, or we're gonna see the end result coming for Team Navillera onto the YB Club. 5-man coming in for the defense. They will be securing the Lord here easily, but in the meantime, the Hard Guard coming in. The Lashins already popped up. A lot of damage onto the Gathol Kasha. He used his AOG to go back, but in the meantime, he doesn't have the Ferak armor. Goes down. Kuling goes in. Finds a kill on Navillera. It will be two-man down for the side of Team Navillera. Three-man actually, because TC will be infiltrating and securing and deleting down the Angela there. It will be a GG defend from YB Club. They're still not out from the game. They're trying their best to showcase this game.
Yeah, Ash, this is exactly what I was talking about. You see, without the Mia in the picture, how YBC they're dominating. You know, they need this. Like, you know, they just have to take down the Mia because throughout that entire team fight, the Mia was absent and there was just no burst damage, you know, that could take them down. But this time around, look at our Gatot. Oh my god, what is she doing? She's just going right into the third and, you know, forces herself to pop out that revitalize.
I mean, I don't know why the minions getting cleared out by the Lancelot. He can use, he can use those minions for the zing zing zing, for the puncture. Therefore, I don't like, whenever I play Lance and my teammates clear out those minions, I get angry onto them. Like, why are you clearing the minions? Minions are my power buff.
Yeah.
It's fine. Now the scenario is kind of tilted towards YB Club. They're slowly making their comeback in this game. It's more like if you're gonna take out the Mia, the backliner, the damage dealer, you might gonna take on the game as well. Dawning Light comes up. You know, they got the late game Aldos for them as well. The Xavier. So the game should be done a little bit early for like Navillera if they really wants to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, the Xavier can be a big trouble in the late game because of the output that he can deal, you know. The output of his magic damage is quite crazy in the late game, and, you know, the Mia might be overwhelmed. So they have to watch out for the Xavier as well, because I feel like if the Mia is half HP, one Dawning Light from the Xavier will be enough to take her down. They have to really watch out for that as well. But this time around, you know, they're just going to be contesting for the Lord, and without the Firaga armor, the X-Borg is going to have a little bit of a harder time. But then again, look at the CC going in for the Mia with the Vengeance. The Yo-Yo Bliss but then again, not gonna be enough because
Second
the
one as well. But on the Lord side, we can see, oh, CCQB goes down. Mia going in for the burst. Last hit, and he popped up as well. Throne rolls. Used for the save. He goes back with the help of the puncture. Still the Lord fight going in. Let's see the retreat. The retreat popped up. It will be the Lancy getting out the retreat onto the turn, onto the Lord and securing it down. The immortality popped up with the help of the Dawning Light as well. It's like he does have the Firaga armor, but he's still getting chased out. The last identity popped up again. And I believe like the Priya will be taken down in the process. Althea as well. Even though the Lord is coming in. Team Navillera will be defending out easily because look at that. The dive comes up here. The Phantom Execution got used. I mean, Kuling needs to go back at this moment. Throne Rose coming in. The pokes are well. But they need to be in the safer zone, otherwise they will be doomed. The base will be taken out, the crown will be taken up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Ash, talking about these two teams, I feel like this time around, these two teams are only marksman reliant. Like, the pace of the game, the team fight, the macro, it all depends on the marksman. If the marksman dies first from any side of the team, it means it's game over for the other team. Because if the Irritel is dead, the Mia is gonna dominate. If the Mia is dead, so the Irritel is gonna be bursting down the back line and will be dishing out a lot of damage considering the fact that there's no Mia to deal out the burst on that Irritel. So they have to go for the from both sides of the teams if they want to win. But yeah, look at this. Look at the Irritel. Just as I was talking about how much burst she can deal, she melted that Firaga armor like.
The Yo-Yo Blinks there, she's finding their way to Ailu, but in the meantime, Cling Spree coming out for Fubuki on to kill in, and there will be a trap down mechanism coming in. The hot guard is popped up, and you can see a lot of damage from the Xbox. AOG being there, Kiumi got a kill onto Kaleen. In the meantime, mega kill secured onto the Priya as well. Sliver of HP, Kiumi forced down. A beautiful redemption happened here, and with this, 4-man down for the side of YB Club. The end is near. It's just a 1-2 members who will be defending out. Lancelot goes in, securing the minions there. Wanted to take out those waves. He doesn't want that inhibitor to fall down. A lot of hindrance coming in. The Throne Rose being used. Might get taken out easily. Up, the immortality popped up. Dawning Light coming in. The puncture happening. He goes back.
Oh my god, look at the land.
The sun comes up. He goes back into the safer zone. What a way, man. What a way, Nutson. He finds her way to the back to the base. Let me see, finds her way back to the base.
Nexon, oh my god, what was that play? You literally bought so much time for your team that now all the members from your team are, spawning right back up. And, there was no pressure created whatsoever, even though the fact that 3 members were down from their end. But yeah, this time around, Ash, it's gonna be another lot contest. I feel like, this is the 5th or the 6th lot of the game. And the game is just being dragged to such
22 minutes of the game, and you can see the zone coming out from Priya is so good. Let's see who will be having the retreat. Dawning Light comes up here. Lancelot goes in. We'll be finding the retreat onto the Lord. Next turn it is. Last Insanity popped up. They're zoning out the situation. CC goes into the backside, but you can see the Mia killing here, dealing a lot of damage. But there you go. They find their way to the back zone. But do you think that Mia cannot find the way for the defending out this Lord? Because she has a lot of damage here, even though this Lord is a, mighty Lord, you can say, enhanced one, but it's more like they're gonna defend it out. AOG comes up on a no one. It's just disengage the whole of the members to the back line here, but you can see the Dawning Light coming in. The Xavier still standing in the way in the back line. You can see the Oculin going in. Kaiden falls down. A lot of damage with a heavy crossbow. Vengeance popped up for the Esma. He's right now zoning out Kulin, and Kulin will be taken out. Unstoppable puncture with the Throne Rose comes out of the Jushin there. Last Insanity coming in. The Hot Guard is still onto the top. The Sliver of HP. Immortality popped up. True damage still coming in. The 2 of our. Oh, in the meantime, in the back line, we can see the killing spree happen onto the Jushin as the Lancelot goes in to help the puncture. But there you go. A godlike might be coming in. The monster kill might be coming in for the Esmeralda. Lost still going into the inhibitor. They're right now taking on the mighty push there. A defend happened with the help of the puncture. The minions are into the way of the base. They might go for the lockdown here. In the meantime, you can see that the last Insanity coming in. The AOG happened. He does have a best SP, but they're right now taking out the base here. Dawning Light happened. Shut down onto Fufuki. With this, the base got locked, and it will be team Navillera who will not going into the next round because they cannot defend their base even after 5 Lord. Even after securing 3 Lord into their hand, giving away 2 Lord, defending it out, but still, Team YB Club managed to secure the win and will be going in the next round after playing at 24, not at 24, but 23 half minutes of the game. What a game it was, guys. What a game it was. I need to stand up for all those girls, for all those queens. What a game, guys. Nexon with the lost steal. Sisi with the zone onto the backliner. And of course, Fubuki was every time there to take out Kulin, the damage dealer. Everybody gave their 100% once, but we all know that it will be one winner and one loser for the night. And we got our loser and the winner at the same time.
Oh my gosh, Ash, that scene at the end, it was so intense. Like, damn, two members, like two marksmen were already down. But I do gotta say that Nexon on that Lancelot, she is just next level. Like the plays, that she made and the way she was going for the backline, she was so deliberate, to go for diffusion and just so fixated on taking her down. He did the absolute best. And I mean, she did the absolute best from her end. And, she was the main carry in the late game, despite the Irritel, being the main carry in the late phases of the game, being the marksman. Man, I do have to say that hats off to Nexon. And the way she cleared the lane, the way she prioritized the backline, the way she was just going full rampage on that Lancelot, man. It felt like, it wasn't even a girl. It felt like it was a guy. It felt like I was watching Kyrie or something. Because that Lancelot, it is very, very highly commendable and respectable considering the fact that it is a girl playing. And it does sound like I'm underestimating the girls when it comes to the assassin. But from tonight, my point of view is totally changed after witnessing Nexon's Lancelot. I just gotta say that hats off to you.
It's totally a rampage from the side of Nexon, of course, with that lost steal. And I also liked the gameplay of Navillera as well. I mean, she was totally great with the Chushin, you can say. Even like the Esmeralda as well. The zone was totally perfect. It's more of a like, if they would have having something else other than that Angela, something sustained, more sustained, like a Grok, or maybe you can say Kalea, heal plus CC. They could have done a little bit better, but it's fine. They went for the fourth Lord. It's more of a like in the end of the game, it was team YB Club who got that idea that you need to take out the goal lane. I mean, you need to take out the MM, the main damage dealer, the Mia. And they managed to do that thing for not for twice, but for fourth time into the team fights. So, of course, I mean, taking out the damage dealer, you're taking on the win as well. But with this, it's time for the short break once because at 9, we'll have another game. Itami will be joining you. So I'll be taking my off. So with this, me, STZ, will be signing off. But Wands will be still there for the last game of the night. Thank you, guys.
for benefits. Welcome to Double 11! Amazing prices, amazing styles! Win big in Mega Draw! incredible benefits.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are back for game number 4, and this will be the last game for tonight. And it is gonna be the Mooncrest, which is one of the fan favorite, which is gonna play off against another team, which is also a fan favorite, known as Krux Rekium. And yep, tonight on the casted desk, it's me once, and this time around, I'll be joined by our favorite caster, none other than our hypercaster. I would say Itami. So welcome, Itami. And how are you feeling about tonight's game? And overall, how are you?
Hello, once, and thank you so much for the welcome. And yep, I'm feeling great. So finally, here we are once again onto the casting decks. And as once has already gave the introductions for the team, this is going to be a single elimination match, most probably, right? So the lower brackets eliminations are here, and it will be between Team Mooncrest going up against Team Krux Requiem. A best of one series, a do or die for both of the sides. So hopefully we will be seeing a tough competition coming up. But slowly but surely we will be coming up onto the draft. And I actually would like to discuss one thing on to this tournament as well as the recent ongoing tournaments onto the Indian scene. That is the fighter, let's say the fighter gold lane meta. It is it has been quite adaptive for most of the big teams, but I think when you are up against, like, going up a marksman, you can be going out with a fighter as well, which will still give you the advantage because the gold that carries onto the gold lane, the, let's say, the minions, they don't carry out that much gold, and hitting is quite crucial. But the thing is the execution when it comes to the team fights. So if we are going out with a jungler which could be dealing out the damage, like maybe a Oasis or a Lancelot, then the fighter gold lane can work out. But
Yeah,
marksmen can still be the carry for the game if you have enough gold for it. That is going to be one of the crucial things. So here we are already onto the drafting phase, and I think Irithel ban, an early Irithel ban
yeah,
most probably should be a respect. Other than that, most of the bans I would say are quite valid.
yeah. The Intel ban, it's a really good ban. And yeah, also the fact that in the previous game it was none other than the Irtel, who created so much dominance for YBC, and somehow they managed to win a losing game. So the Irtel is quite a crucial hero that you have to look out for. But yeah, talking about overall the ban, I would say that they have a pretty standard ban. They're taking out all the meta heroes. But yeah, look at this. Itami, Krux, Rekium coming up with a first pick Minotaur. They are going for the beef here. They're just going for a full-on berserk with the Minotaur. That is a bit risky in my opinion because you have reveal your roam card. So that is a bit of a disadvantage, I would say. You usually want to go for the mage or the EXP because I feel like this time around you could have went for the Lapu Lapu as well. It would have been a really solid fighter, but no, they decided to go for the Minnow instead. So yeah, Minnow is a pretty situational hero. I would say can provide great crowd control plus a bit of a heal for the team. But yeah, look at this though. On the other hand, we have Moon Creds, and they are already coming up with so much sustained pick. They're coming up with the Alice combined with the Florin.
Yeah, a deadly combination combined with the healer. So Alice, we already know her because of the sustainability, and the Florin is a Florin, and it will be providing a lot of heals considering the fact Angela has been banned out. And even if Rafaela is there as a support, which could have been giving out the resurrection, but I don't think Rafaela has been much of a priority as much as a Florin is. So Florin, I think because of the global heal as well as the ultimate adjustment, like if you get the fleeting as well as the flask of the Oasis, then you can literally get the global heal once again in a few number of seconds. So the heals will be coming out quite crucial. But and to my surprise, interesting enough, Crux Requiem, they have the crowd control. The Minotaur is there. for the Monian Fury. And for the burst, they decided to go out with the Kagura. And for the sustain, it's the Esmeralda. But the thing for now is, the damage dealers are only magic. So it will be deciding on to the second phase of the draft. I
Okay.
already like this Exborg pick. It can be going out onto the goal lane as well as onto the jungle. He is a flex pick. Since Alice is already picked out, I don't think it is going to be an EXP Exborg, but who knows? Maybe an Alice jungle? It's,
Um,
more of a flex, let's say.
yeah, I feel like the Xborg could be thrown into the jungle in this game because he is really good against tanks like Esme and the Minotaur. Can dish out heavy damage, especially the true damage once the stacks are up and the last insanity as well. So that can be really good against tanky lineup. And the fact that they have secured the X-Borg, it also prevents Krux Rekium, to not go for the utility jungle this time around because they could have thrown one more tank and they could have thrown a burst marksman like a carry or something, to lane for the late game here. So with that,
Yeah.
there's no option left for a utility jungle because the X-Borg is gonna overwhelm if you have too many tanks on the game. So yeah, that definitely closes the window for that. But yeah, talking about the second ban phase here, we are coming up with a Lunox ban as well as a Julian ban from the side of Mooncrest here. They're also taking out the Granger, which is really good. So I feel like this time around the bans are looking pretty solid, but there are still two more cards left from both sides of the teams that they are yet to reveal. Let's see what it's gonna be. I mean, talking about Mooncrest here, I feel like they could definitely go for a marksman that can, scale into the late game. Probably a carry. I definitely see a carry working out here because, she has a bit of mobility with her dash and the burst from her. It's absolutely insane. Can shred the SMA as well as the Minnow in the late game. So, they could definitely opt for the carry as well. But let's see what they decide to go for because I feel like girls are quite comfortable playing easy heroes. So, the Brody might come into the picture as well.
Yeah, Brody can also be a, priority here because he can be giving out the range. So I do think Brody can be possible, but you were mentioning out the carry, right? So,
Oh
oh
my
my
Oh
god.
my
Yeah,
god.
exact same reaction once.
What is going on with tonight's game? A Hanabi, a Mia, and now the legendary Layla.
Uh, Talking about legend, she is going to be receiving a legend skin soon, like we were
Yeah,
discussing it before. And
yeah.
here we go, we will be witnessing a Layla onto this game, but I'm kind of skeptical regarding the Layla because there's a Kagura for the side of Crux Requiem again combined with a Clint. So Clint has a really good laning potential. He can be going out with the range as well. And on to my surprise, it works out when you go up against a laning Layla. But
Indeed.
if the game extends onto the late game, Layla could be a monster. And looks like Crux Requiem, they will be completing the draft. Alucard, we completely forgot about this jungle pick. He has been quite of a band priority onto the rank scenes at tournaments. We do see him rarely, but if he gets the early game snowball, the Alucard could actually work, and they do have the crowd control for their side as well, thanks to the Minotaur.
Yep. I mean, they do have a really solid pick on the side of Krux Requiem, but then again, Alucard is like a sustain damage fighter. So I feel like the Xborg can actually balance out when, it comes to damage and tanking as well. So he will be overwhelming the Alucard as well because, Alucard is tanky and, Xborg deals really good damage against tanky heroes. Even though his Firaga armor will be down, he can still you know use the fire to just poke damage because once the Firaga armor is down, your skill range are a bit they're increased. So that is a plus point if your Firaga armor is down, especially against short range heroes like Esme, Minnow, and Alucard. But yeah, talking about the Clint though, the Clint is gonna be really good in the early and mid game against the Layla because the quick draw, it deals so much damage on a single target. So if she can manage to lock onto the Layla with a quick draw, all of that will really, really overwhelm the Layla. So the Layla has to, just play it safe, third hug, and just pray that they're not gonna third dive her.
Yeah, exactly. And they have the Alucard for the side as well. So Layla needs to be really aware when it comes to map awareness. Because the Alucard can still dive in, and even if you use a flicker, there is kind of less chances if you are too deep onto the opponent's tower. So there are high chances that you could be taken down. And looks like Mooncreds will be completing their draft with a final touch. It is going to be, and that is going to be a Vexana. So I do think, Vexana onto the early game phase, she has a lot of pokings, and because of her unique passive, she can be a lot contributing when it comes to the team fights as well. So they required, but I do think, Vexana kind of requires a really strong kind of a frontliner instead of a support. So
Yeah.
Alice as well as the export can do the job, but the thing is they will be requiring their items as well, and they will not be as tanky onto the early game phase. So the Layla and the Vexana definitely needs to be watching onto their positioning this game.
Yeah, I highly agree with you because Alice, she takes her time to scale her tankiness as well as the Xborg. So in the early phase of the game, there's not much tanking that you can expect from the side of Mooncreds. But yeah, talking about their mid lane, I was hoping that they would go for the Valor because the Valor can be really good against Alucard. Can use the soaring terrain to push him back and stun him down. Same with the Esme and the Minotaur as well. So that can create so much space for the Layla as well. Can be used as a
5
tool
seconds till the
for
enemy
protecting her.
reaches the
But
battlefield.
nonetheless, we are
Smash
into the
them!
game. Itami take us right in.
All troops
Yup, here
deployed!
we are on to the final game for the night. Lower brackets, single elimination, Mooncreds going up against Team Krux Requiem. So we have already analyzed the draft once, as well as Itami will be the casters for this match, and it will be the battle of endurance as well as the execution. So a support going up against a setup kind of a Roma, which also have a support kind of a potential because he's a Minotaur. He can use those additional heals as well for the side. And look at that. Clint already having a little bit better of a time compared to the Layla early game phase. Layla heavily reliant onto the itemizations. They might be trying to gank up onto the top as well, but the thing is, Mitsuri will be rotating as well as providing some visions and some
Yeah.
heals for that Layla. That is going to be, definitely one of the biggest requirements yet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, talking about the Layla, you just really, really need that protection from your team. And you just have to be careful against the Alucard because the Alucard can really pop out of nowhere. And, the fission wave can be really overwhelming for heroes like Layla, considering the fact that they have no dashes. Even if you flicker away, I feel like the slow from the fission wave, it's going to be so overwhelming that you won't be able to escape further if you try to run. So the Alucard will definitely catch up with his mobility and his passive.
Yeah, that is going to be one of the things. And Alucard, they need to be aware of the fact that Alucard could be ganking up from anywhere. Speaking of ganks, there is the down to the mid side, but still, the first blood yet to be drawn. Numi, she was quite held hostage, but still, the first blood will not be drawn, and she is quite low onto the HP. But the thing is, that turtle is about to be spawning, and I think Team Crux Requiem, they have a better control when it comes to contesting for the turtle. Minotaur is not level 4 yet, but Xbor can do the last insanity as well. But the thing is, he will be requiring some heals.
Yeah, but he will definitely be requiring some heals, and I feel like the Minnow can provide that, a little bit of a heal. But I really love the fact that, the Minnow is a tank with a heavy crowd control, so he will be disrupting the front lines from the side of Mooncreds, which is going to be the Alice and the X-Borg as well. But at the same time, considering the fact that they have the oh my god, Itami, look at that!
Oh
Yin Yang
my god!
reaction.
A nasty flame shot right onto the face of Numi, and that will be a turtle as well as a first blood being secured for the side of Team Crux Requiem. That flame shot came out of hand. Kagura, we mostly see her onto the flicker thanks to those TikTok combinations, but flame shot also works. Even sometimes, even I like playing Kagura sometimes, and I do acquire the flame shot instead of the flicker because I'm a noob and I don't know how to do the combo. That's why, but it works onto this process.
I mean, if you talk about the Kagura, I feel like I'm the bigger noob because on the Kagura I go execute. So that is some crazy assassin mage that I like to play with the Kagura and the execute. But yeah, nonetheless, though we are seeing a flame shot which is working quite well. for for our mage here, which is. But yeah, look at this, another yin and yang reaction. Is going crazy on the Kagura, already targeting the low mobility heroes like the Vixana, considering the fact that she does not have any flicker, no escape tool. So the yin and yang reaction is gonna hit really hard, and there's gonna be no escape for the Vixana.
Yeah, definitely. The one thing I was like already trying to make them aware, the Morning Fury comes up onto two people. There was the dive as well as the flicker from the Minotaur. Alucard will be trying to dive in, but the stuns will be
Oh my
an
lord!
overextension, and this time Mooncreds will be punishing team the other team Krux Rekium, but still Clint comes up with a triple kill. Somehow Alucard got traded, but still onto the hands of Team Krux Requiem. They found a better trade, a triple for the Clint already. Even though the gold tower is still up, definitely a good lay being a marksman.
Yeah, definitely. The Clint being the burst marksman that he is.
Oh, look
Oh,
at that. Oh my
another yin and
god!
yang overturn. Oh my god. Oh my god. She is
Oh,
going crazy. She's going crazy. I feel like she has some kind of a beef with Numi because she has been constantly targeting Numi. She's not going for the marksman. She's not going for the support. She is just so fixated on taking down Numi.
yeah, and one thing is, if you try to mark out the Vexana like that, the flicker will be baited out, and that is the spell with the highest cooldown. So,
Yeah.
a quite crucial spell which could be coming out for the escapes as well as the initiation is baited out quite early. Caesar with a really good engage. There is a crowd control. Setina gets the turtle, and another engage comes up as well. Last Insanity from the side of Skippy, but still the trades are yet to be drawn. It will be a mega kill for the Clint. This is
Oh my
a kill,
lord.
and that will be a killing spree once again. 2 for none, and the flame shot, and once again it will be a 3-4-0 trade. 3-for-1 actually. Clint will be losing his life, but definitely worth the trade considering the fact he just got a turtle. But on to the hands of Layla. She will be, getting a tower at least.
Yep. I mean, this is exactly what we were talking about, right, Itami? Like, Mooncreds, they have no early game tank that can soak damage. And, they're so item reliant that they can't really do anything without the items on the Alice and the Xborg for the team to tank damage. And this is what Krux Rekium, they're taking advantage of. They know that they are squishy. They know that they have the damage. They're going all out. And out of it, they're getting the best value possible. There's just no equalizer for the time being from the side of Mooncred here. They're just gonna have to farm up and hope and pray that they make their items right on time. But yeah, look at the late.
Oh no. Imagine being a Layla and getting dived in like that. Speaking of dives, Numi once again gets taken out from the hands of the Kagura thanks to the flame shot. Another initiation has been up. Last Insanity being used out. Finally a shutdown onto the Kagura. It will be Siza getting the kill. But Skippy will be able to get it onto the Minotaur as well. Siza goes down onto the process too, but it will be a 2-for-2 trades actually, an equal trade. But onto the trades of the EXP laner as well as the gold laner. So Krux Requiem still having a
Red
better
team turret
advantage.
has been destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, Itami, I don't know if I'm tripping or not, but I feel like if the Kagura, she definitely has something against me because I see her always locked onto Numi no matter what. No matter if there are 5 people, her umbrella, it hits only Numi. That's all I see.
I think other reason could be like Vexana's Eternal Guard could be coming
I
up
think
with the initiations
I
as well.
think
So if you get rid of the
that's likely.
Vexana, yeah. If you get rid of the Vexana quite early, speaking of Vexana, once again the Kagura with the combination. Mitsuri was forced to use the global heal before the time. The flickers once again getting baited out, and looks like Krux Requiem they will be getting the third objective, and that is going to be the third turtle
Blue
without
team
any
has slain
contention.
the turtle.
And Mooncreds, if they want to hold it out, they will be hoping for the fact that Layla somehow gets the farm. But I actually would like to look at the itemizations as well as the goal difference.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the goal difference, Mooncred, they have, they're actually behind 5k goal lead against Krux here, so they're quite behind. And, the fact that the game just started, we're already into the mid phase of the game, 8-minute mark already crossed. But then again, look at this, look at the Minotaur being such a hindrance, just knocking the Xborg down, but then again, not enough to take down the Faraga armor.
Yeah, not yet, not just yet. And Lord, Lord is still like a minute or half away. And
Red
look
team
at
turret has been
look at the
destroyed.
lead already. Clint has over 2k gold lead compared to the Layla. So definitely he has that snowball kind of a potential. And the biggest advantage for him is he hasn't like he has just fallen down once. So
Yep.
Clint will be the main damage source. They have the burst as well. The Kagura is there for that, and she can be going out for maybe a wishing lantern or maybe something like a blood wings too, in order to have some more mobility as well as a shield. But shield could be a good option when you have a Esmeralda for your side as well. The global heal once again coming up. Sketty is getting quite invaded onto the turtle. There is the there was the Kakura, but she didn't dive in with the combinations yet. But Numi will be forced to use out her eternal guard.
Yeah, I feel like there is just so much resource from Mooncrest that's always being baited out, and once those resources have been expended, they just go all in, and they know that they have no flicker, they know that they have no ults, and that is when they go for the team fight. But this time around, I feel like the Alice is starting to come online. I can see the tankiness on her, as well as the Xbox, and combining the Florin, I feel like this time around they might be able to be the punching bag for the team. And as for the Layla, she's already going for the third offensive item. She has already completed the Windtalker and the Berserker. I feel like this time around she might go for the Malefic Gun or the Hass's Claw, so that could be it. But yeah, in the late game they have to watch out for the Layla, because this time around I feel like the punching bags are definitely stacking up the sand in them, and they're like becoming more tanky.
Yeah. And this time around, like Krux already got a lot for their side, so they should be focusing onto the lane sinking so that they will be making sure they will be getting as much towers as possible. And talking about the tankiness, actually, the Alice will definitely come up online once she is able to acquire her defensive stats. But the thing is, the Sea Halberd is still onto the existence, and the Alucard as well as the Clint can go out with the Sea Halberd. So even if you're trying to sustain it out, you will be requiring a lot of heals for your side. The Florin, I do think the Flask of the Oasis is done, but the other scenario is going to be that if the other team members are not able to dish out the damage that is required, then the Minotaur will just keep on healing, as well as the crowd control is there, and looks like they will be able to get the mid tower at least. But the inhibitors would most probably still be remaining, but it will be depending upon the next team fight coming up.
Yeah, it seems like there's already another fight stirring up with the Lord coming up, but then this is quite a weak Lord, so they're not gonna be able to take down any inhibitor for now. So it's just gonna be a clean defense from the side of Mooncrest. And yeah, I feel like Mooncrest for now, that's all they can do, and they should focus on is defending. And they have to really wait for the Layla to shine, because Layla literally says time to shine, but it's not yet her time to shine for now, so they have to wait for that moment. And yeah, they really have to watch out for the Kagura, I would say, because the Kagura is being such a menace. She's always going for the low mobility heroes like the Florin and the Vexana. So they have to position themselves really far away from that umbrella, and try not to get caught up in the yin and yang overturn combo of the Kagura there.
Definitely, like even if she tries to commit it out, Florin can use out the heal, like the ultimate, in order to just save out the members. But the burst from the Kagura is going to be one of the impactful things. If the burst is done pretty fast and the Florin doesn't get the time to react, then the combination is going to be working. But the thing is, like we have already said it out, Krux Requiem already has a lot of gold lead, but still, team Moonrest, they do have the Layla for their side, and if they extend it and overextend the fights to the fact that Layla is getting fed, then it could be the game changer. But one of the uh, one of the biggest downfall is that Team Crux Requiem has the tower advantage as well as Mooncreds. They only got one towers for their side, so the map as well as the visions are not there. And even if they try to commit for the Lord, there is a huge risk before the Lord they will be end up losing all the numbers.
Indeed. And yeah, it seems like there's just another skirmish cooking up here in the red buff, but none of the teams are going to commit to it right now because the lot is already up, and it seems like Krux Rekium, they're not trying to overextend here, they're just trying to look for the safest play possible, and they're just going to go and secure the objective, which is the Lord. And this time around, there's no casualty whatsoever. It's just a lot being secured from the side of Krux Rekium. And yeah, it's going to be another defense for the side of Mooncreds and Itami. I'm not sure this time around if they can defend this, because
Yeah.
if Krux Requiem they commit and the Minotaur surprises them with the Minoan Fury combo with the flicker, can easily dive into the backline for the Vexana as well as the Florin and the Layla. So that will pop out a lot of flickers, I'm sure. And that is where the Alucard goes in, combined with the Clin that is gonna deal out the damage from behind as well as the Esme and the Kagra.
Yeah, definitely going to be a tough defense, and
Red
the
team
lane
base turret
shifting
has
is
been
quite okayish
destroyed.
in my opinion, but still they will be losing out the
Red
bot
team
inhibitor
base
tower
turret has
as well
been
as the
destroyed.
top. So looks like they might be trying to commit it out as well, but still they don't have the minions for their side, and looks like they might be taking the fight from the mid side. They just go back, and okay, interesting enough, somehow somewhere Mooncreds were able to defend it out, but still this is the evolved minion, so you might be taking the risk or you might not. Says oh, just goes back right on time, and they might be able to defend it out somehow.
Yeah. This time around, they will definitely, defend it
Uh-oh,
out.
uh-oh, oh, they might be trying to engage actually, and there is the overextension coming up on the side of Team Krux Requiem, and looks like they will be trying to lose out the members as well. It will be the defense coming up from the side of Team Mooncreds. They are trying to look out for another fight right on time. One of the members from the side of Team CRQ just goes back. It will be a pause, but yeah, definitely the Layla is going to be a threat, as well as the Alice actually, because the sustain is definitely online and it's almost a late game. So even if the goal lead is kind of massive, if you got the core items, then it's not going to be mattering much.
Yeah, it's not gonna matter much, because this time around, I feel like in the late game, if Mooncrest they catch up with the goal, despite them having so much goal advantage, this time around it's not gonna affect much because they will be equal. And the Layla definitely, as the chat is saying, is the main character. She definitely will be the main character, and will be dishing out a lot of damage from a very 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 safe distance, considering the fact that her range, it's so absurd, and there's an item called Malefic Gun. Combining that, you can snipe off the backline with the Leela as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I do think, Crux Requiem, if they go out for the third Lord and they are able to get it, then the defense is going to be quite tough for the side of Team Mooncreds. But the fact that the other members for the side of Team Mooncreds as well, if they are quite fed out, they are not actually fed, but if they are able to keep up with the itemizations, then the trades might be quite different. And they need to make sure, Crux Requiem's lineup, it's dependent upon the team fights as well as so one as well as the team fights as well as solo executions. Solo executions definitely the Kagura, but the others they will be trying to wait out for the Minotaur to make a proper engage.
Yeah, they definitely have to rely on the Minotaur, considering the fact that he's the the setup for the team. So they have to watch out for the minnow. Whenever the minnow is going in, they have to really commit to it and get the best value out of it. But this time around, I feel like the Layla is definitely catching up with the itemization here. She's already making her way onto the last item, which is none other than the Rose Gold Meteor, to try to prevent that Kagura from bursting her out if she catches her, with the combo there. So that is a good defensive item, I would say, as well as offensive. But yeah, I do feel like this time around their main damage dealer is Layla, so they have to watch out for the Layla, and they really have to take her out, because if they don't take her out, she is definitely gonna outburst the Clin when it comes to the consistent damage.
Yeah, that's the thing. And looks like the Lord, it will be uncontested once again. I don't think it is the Evolved Lord yet
Team
because
has
it is onto the
slain an
mark of 18 minutes and it's not 18 minutes yet. But the fact is, this is going to be a lot tankier compared to the previous two Lords, and Team Mooncreds, they only have one inhibitor tower remaining for the side. So one thing Team Crux Requiem needs to make sure they don't repeat it out is try to lane sync the lane properly, because it was it was going out kind of solo. It was just the top tiers going one by one. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it is not up to the sync, then I think once again it will be team Mooncreds able to defend it out because of the fact that the Alice Siza will be able to sustain a lot more compared to the previous Lord, because
Yes.
she mostly has most of the defense items, and there is no proper burst excluding the Kagura to try to burst her out. So let's see what is going to be happening on to the third Lord coming up.
Yeah, as you already said, there's no synchronization of the lane, so there's not going to be too much pressure for Mooncreds here to defend. But then again, look
Oh,
at this. Utami, look at the commitment coming up from the side of Krux right here. They're going all out.
they are trying to overcome it as well. The global heat also comes out, but that will be the Alice with the engage. Layla once again gets a kill onto Ized, and looks like that will be another defense coming up. Never underestimate a Layla, and looks like this time around, once again, the Layla as well as her team will be able to sustain it out. But the question is definitely going to be for how long. They will need a proper wipeout in order to make sure that they will be, they still have a chance onto this team. I do feel they will be able to defend out another Lord as well if Siza once again comes up with that kind of initiation, which is a really, you know, really commendable job coming up from the Alice. But the thing is, if the Layla gets marked, it is going to be quite over.
Yeah, I feel like this time around, Mooncreds, they actually have a very high chance of winning the game. Because if you take a look at the composition of Krux Rekium, they have no one that can really dive too deep into the backline, because the Layla, the range that she has right now, she can maintain such a safe position behind the Alice with the protection of the Florin and the Xborg, there's just so much space for her that's created by her team, that she can easily dish out damage. She can also be too dangerous for Krux Rekim to deal with, because there's no way you're gonna catch Layla who's hiding behind three people, and she has like a golden range of a basic attack.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, the Layla as well as the other members for the side of the Mooncreds, their composition is actually more late game reliant. We already said it, and they were heavily reliant upon the itemizations. Though Crux Requiem, they had the better early game. I don't think this Lord is also going to be quite contested unless Xbox just dives in with the last insanity, and that will be the Lord getting secured. Maybe the Mooncrest might be trying to commit it out. Sisa comes up with initiation, and looks like they are trying to look out for the fight. But Alucard just dives in onto the back lane. Isaac gets killed, and that will be Skitty with the double kill. Actually, and the mid laner as well as the gold laner just goes down. Alucard will be forced to go back as well, and it might actually be the potential wipeout. Layla is still not onto the fight, but still a 2-for-0 trade for the Lord. And I do think, as Bonds has already said, Mooncrest might actually stand a chance.
Yeah, they might stand a chance, because this time around we do see that all the members from the side of Mooncreds are finally online. And it seems like, there's no way for Krux Rekium to actually go for the Layla, neither for the Vixana this time around. It seems like Numi has actually learned a lot from the previous deaths that she has received from the Kagura. So now, she's positioning herself quite well and not actually putting herself onto the face of the Kagura. And man, just look at the Esme and her shield. This is so absurdly high.
Yeah, and the other thing is there is no one for the Esme to actually burst it out, excluding the burn damage, which could be giving out from the Xborg as well as the Vexana. But looking at the itemizations, yep, Team Crux Requiem as well as Mooncreds, they are almost full items, excluding the Alice. So Alice, I think she is going out for the Anticuras, or most probably for the Alucard. So I do believe for the fact that if once Team Mooncrest gets the hands on to the Lord, the scenario might be quite different. Even if Team Crux Requiem, they do have the towers advantage. It is the Layla that is giving out some of the problems, but we should not exclude the other members as well, such as Siza, who is doing brilliant tanking as well as brilliant initiations from her side.
Yeah, yeah, and also the fact that we're already into the late game. All the members from the side of Mooncrest, they actually have all their Tang items right now. And the fact that, Itami, there is no consistent damage. Like, you need a marksman, who can deal basic attack damage to chunk down the HP of the tanks. They are lacking that. Krux, Rekium, they have a Claude who deals skill-based damage. Skill-based damage is easily countered by the anti-cuirass and the twilight armor and the other miscellaneous tank items. So that is not going to be enough to burst down the HP of these tanks. And also the fact that they have a Florin, any damage that you're going to deal to these tanks, it's going to be healed right back up.
Yep. And this will be the Evolved Lord once again going out, but I don't believe Mooncrest will be making out quite on time to be contesting. Serena gets the Lord this time. Since I was there for the initiation, but the X-Borg was not onto the position, but maybe Team Mooncrest might be looking out for the fight. Rumi is quite low, and this time Alucard will be getting the kill. Serena falls down onto the process as well, falling Star Moon onto the backline from the Esmeralda, but that might be the overextension, and it will be a double for that Layla. Look at the blast as well as look at the damage, but still somehow thanks to the Minotaur they are able to sustain and escape it out. Team Krux Requiem got Lord, but once again it is a 2-for-1 trade. Numi falls, but they will be losing the jungler as well as the EXP.
They definitely did lose the EXP and the jungler, so it's gonna be a little bit of a breather for Mooncrest here because they lost only one member, so that is a good trade. But at the same time, they can't really make the most out of this trade because they have to clear the lanes. The lane pressure is just way too much. They can't really push any lane this time around, and they also have to defend the Evolved Lord that is marching on the top lane there. So I feel like they have to pick off at least 2 core members from the side of Krux Requiem, and they can easily force out the game through the mid and just push it through the base.
Yep, and look at this one. Like it is it is the 5th Lord, right?
Yeah,
The Lord just gets melted down. So yep, I don't think it is the lane sinking kind of a problem. The problem is the late game potential that Team Mooncrest had, and they were making full use of it. The goal lead, it's not going to be mattering at all because it's already 25 minutes onto the game, and I think somehow, some way, Mooncrest needs to be contesting out for the Lord. They will be able to hold it out, it's okay, but I don't think it will be for quite long because of the fact that the Minotaur can be coming up with the initiation. But if the side of Team Mooncrest, they lost out the frontliner, the Layla alone will not be able to do quite much compared to she is doing right now.
Yeah. I feel like, the Layla, if she really wanna burst down these tanky heroes, might as well grab a DHS because I see no harm in grabbing a DHS this time around. You can easily chunk down the HP of the Alucard, the Minnow, the Esme. So you can easily sell the Sea Halberd, and that is still gonna deal much more damage when you have the DHS.
It could be the case actually, but the Lord, once again it is up. Oh my goodness, I just saw the HP for the Lord. It was almost 70k. Maybe Mooncrest might be trying to initiate it out. Siza comes up with the initiation, but still she is yet to use out her ultimate. Oh, is that came up with the Kagura combinations onto Numi, but this time it is quite late, and I do think she will be able to sustain it out. The combination was there, but there is the initiation from Siza once again using the Monian Fury, but that will be the overextension. Immortality has been popped out, and looks like Team Mooncrest, they might be trying to contest out for the Lord. Alucard is still there, Serena is quite low. It will be a battle for retribution most probably. X-Borg just lost his Faraja armors as well, and the overextension might be coming up. Layla is trying to provide out some damage, and it will be the retribution coming up. Once again, Serena gets the Lord. Last Insanity comes up, but it will be the unstoppable for the Layla. Izzet just falls up. I'm out of breath, but looks like it will be a shutdown finally onto Skitty. And this time, Krux Requiem getting the 6th Lord for their side. But the question is going to be, will it still be enough to actually end the game? No, never mind. Layla might be taken down. This time her positioning, as well as she is quite deep, and finally a shutdown onto the Layla. So definitely a win kind of a situation considering the fact Lord is coming up from the top, and it looks like a GG game over kind of a thing, but a clutch kind of a defense might be coming up. but this is definitely going to be tough considering the fact the marksman is still alive. They just need to be marking out for the base. Seja once again sustaining the falling star, moving on to the back line. There is the engage as well as the initiation, but there is the engage. Can I be him falls off onto the process? The base, the crystal might
Oh my god,
open
Tammy, what
and
a
they still are not able to lock it out. Somehow the crystal is still open, but one by one, Mooncreds will be losing out their members, and it will be Team Krux Requiem able to get the game somehow finally
Victory!
onto the sixth Lord. What a performance from both of the sides.
Oh my god, Tommy, what a performance indeed. And man, I just gotta say that, the Layla was the win condition for Mooncreds here. And the moment she died, it was game over. Because there's no one who can actually burst down the Lord, who can deal damage for the team. And if we talk about, the members that was standing at the end, it was basically just SZA and that poor Florin, who are just trying as their best to defend, but then again, overwhelmed by three members from the side of Krux Rekium. So, it was a game of a draft, I would say, because the draft definitely favored Team Krux Rekium in the early phases of the game. But as for the late game, it was definitely the Layla who was the win condition. But the moment they lost the Layla, the win condition was off the table and they were able to end the game.
Yep. As soon as like Layla was off position, Minotaur did make sure that this time she will be landing up the Monian Fury, and that is what exactly happened. It just landed up onto her, and it was over. Like you said, the win condition as well as the major damage dealer for the side of Team Mooncreds. As soon as the Layla was lost, I think they were confident enough to the fact that they will be committing for the like committing for the crystal, even if they ended up losing some of the members. Even if that was a wipeout, even if they ended up losing all of the members, I do think the death timers would have been up quite on time, and still Crux Requiem will be somehow able to defend the base because
Yeah.
Team Mooncreds, they only had one tower for their side, so it will be taking out a lot of time, even though the death tolls were quite up. And Mooncreds, I do think the draft was, it was okay, but they had the late game insurances for the side, most specifically the Layla. But the thing is, the execution as well as the early game that they lost, they didn't have that much of a front line, as well as they were squishy, so they quite lose that out onto the early game. Late game they were holding it out, but as we were expecting, the Layla, as soon as she falls, that will be the main win condition for the side of Team Crux Requiem, and that is what exactly happened.
Yeah. And I guess this is it for tonight. That was the last game for tonight. So this was game number 4, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I think this time around it's just gonna be me and Itami who's gonna be signing off. But yeah, before we leave, we do gotta highlight the team that won, and it is none other than Krux Rekium. So a big kudos to Krux Rekium. They are heading forward into the tournament, and they will be moving forward and continuing their range. But yeah, as for team uh Mooncreds,
Mooncreds.
they're still into the lower bracket, so they have to really step up their game, and they have to come back stronger in the next games. But yeah, for now, I think that's it for tonight. And if Itami, you have anything to say, you can go ahead and just say whatever you want to.
Subscribe to Wargame Games, guys. And yep, we will be having like slowly but surely the tournament is also coming up to its end. So we will be having more intense game and more intense action. So stay tuned for the next upcoming matches onto the next few days. So stay tuned. Good night, everybody. Take care and stay hydrated.